I did want to talk to you about. I didn't want to start the show tonight on this point, but I think it's important that we do discuss it, and I just want to give a little trigger warning out to those of you listening that we will be discussing themes around mental health for the next few minutes. Burnley's top scorer, Lyle Foster, we've heard today, is in the care of specialists after the recurrence of a mental health issue. Foster first spoke about suffering with depression in July. He's reached out to the club again for support. The Clarets manager, Vincent Kompany, says no time frame has been put on Foster's return to the team. Burnley said today that recently Lyle let us know that he continues to live with issues around his mental well-being and has reached out for help. We wish Lyle Foster and all of his family all the best. And I would love to say, I hope we see him back in a shirt or back in the Premier League again soon. What I really mean is, whatever makes Lyle Foster happy and healthy, I hope that's what we see him doing again very, very soon, whatever that is. But there are pressures, Jermaine, that I wanted to talk to you about that revolve around football, because I know a lot of people will say, Premier League footballer, life must be on cloud nine at all times. Some people don't see past the glitz and the glamour of the Premier League on a Saturday afternoon. So I wanted to ask you around just about the pressures that come with that job, because you've been there and you've done it.
Yeah, well, it depends on, there's two types of the pressures. There's the pressures of when you're at the top, trying to fight to win the leagues and always perform at your ultimate best, and you have to perform at your best to get these results. And you've got the pressures of staying in the league, of being in a dogfight. And, they both are very different, but in the same way, you feel that pressure, and it can mentally, if you're not strong enough, can get to you. People think, well, you're getting paid millions and amounts of pounds and you live this kind of life, but you don't understand that off the field, on the training pitch, that the things that you have to go through, knowing that each game, if you don't get a result, can cost you relegation, can then contract changes, you then get a lot of things come into play. And then you also, on the back of it, you got to think about what's going on in the actual player's personal life. You don't know, and it's nice to see that there's been more awareness around it. And back in the day, he would have had to deal with this while trying to perform at his absolute best, because you didn't. This wasn't heard of. You wouldn't go into the manager and say, "I'm really struggling mentally." You'll keep it to yourself. You'd come in training with a nice smile on your face, and at the same time try and produce and be the best professional on the pitch. And when things ain't going well, you've got the fans giving you scrutiny. You've got the coaching staff and the managers, not picking you. All the while not understanding what you're going through.
I think the best thing here, if I can use that phrase, but the positive out of this is that we're seeing a player, at the top level of football in terms of the Premier League, who has been given time away. We've seen it, maybe a very different situation, but we know that Jadon Sancho at Manchester United, for example, wasn't coping well with the extreme pressure and scrutiny that was on him, and he was given time away by his manager at Manchester United. Now we see a player at Burnley, being given the same. And I think that space for a player to go and get well is an important thing, because exactly as you mentioned a few moments ago, that probably wouldn't have happened in generations gone by.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't want everyone to think that because Burnley ain't doing well or his form's not great, that his mental well-being is dipped. This will be a bigger picture. There'll be issues from whatever he's going through back home, back wherever it may come from. And then added on to that is the pressures of Burnley not doing well. Every time these players go into training, it's not a nice atmosphere, because they're in a dogfight, they're in a relegation battle. Each game's hard. It's not as enjoyable as if you're in the middle or the top. So you got that as well. And then if all these molded in, you're going to work and you think, I can't, home life, this, that, I can't mentally cope right now. I can't give the best version of me. Hence why he's going to need... But
yeah. I just think it's important that, it's a goal scorer at a club who's towards the bottom of the league, who could have easily said, we need you.
Yeah.
The fact that he's given time to get healthy is a very important step by Burnley. So I just wanted to commend them for that and wish Lyle Foster all the best. And as I say, whatever he is happy and healthy doing next, I hope he's doing that as soon as possible.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.